What if Ruby was in the Land Before Time? Part 2. They looked odd, looked like the beginning to some joke. Still, there was strength in numbers. They grew hungry and sought food. Ruby sniffed for water, as her parents did. Sure enough, a small, flowing creek led them to a rocky formation, and below. Nice work, Ruby! You were right!
It's the Great Valley! I found it!
Bickering, Littlefoot and Sarah stopped when the ground shook. Run! Take cover! Ruby made sure the others ran ahead of her, realizing there was no place to go. Clutching Ducky and Petrie, Ruby shoved herself to push Spike down behind a massive boulder. A herd of longnecks burst through the rock and ran over the small group who cowered below the thundering feet. When they were safe, they sat up to watch the herd devour the leaves from the branches.
They're eating our food! Look what they're doing. They're so greedy. What about me? I'm still hungry.
You hungry? Me empty all way to top. Now we at Great Valley and still got no green foods. We be hungry forever. Don't worry, Petrie. This is not the Great Valley.
Yes, Mother told me it was bigger and there was an endless amount of green food. Oh, it's not a great anything. Nope. Let's not despair.
Well, let's go down and see if there's anything left. The 6 went below, finding a lone tree untouched and undevoured. Petrie, do you think you could fly up there? No.
Don't worry, Petrie. Many things cannot fly. Rocks, trees, Spike.
Ruby climbed on Littlefoot's back, holding Ducky and Petrie up. Spike ambled over and gave Littlefoot a nudge, lifting them close to the top, where Petrie and Ducky were able to yank the leaves off the branches. All the while, Sarah sat off to the side, laughing at them.
You 5 look so ridiculous.
Though she scoffed, they managed to get a pile of greens, the 6 getting down to feast. Sarah, being the proud type, tried to get food of her own by banging her head into the trunk of a thick tree. In the end, Littlefoot tossed down some leaves, watching her munch upon them.
I can take care of myself, all by myself. I'm not afraid to be alone, and I'm not afraid of Sharptooth. I sure hope he doesn't eat any of you when you sleep.
Don't worry, Sharptooth is dead. Ruby was no stranger to danger, and accepted that Sharptooth was simply a part of their world, and had as much right to the land as she did, for their desire for flesh was instinct, the beast compelled to do so as they were created to. By and by, Ducky, Spike, and Petrie slept beside Sarah, Ruby choosing to go with Littlefoot so he wouldn't feel alone or left out. He smiled and found a footprint to lay in, Ruby making herself comfortable and wondering about her parents. Were they safe? Had they reached the Great Valley? Her thoughts were disturbed when Ducky came over, followed by Petrie, then Spike, and last but not least, Sarah. Close together they slept soundly, unmoved even after the bright circle rose. All roused to Sarah's call.
He'll eat us, run! What's happening?
Ruby spun and across the horizon spotted a Sharptooth who approached them fast. Grabbing Ducky and Petrie before pushing Spike along, she shouted,
Go, run!
They ran for their lives, escaping Sharptooth by slipping between a set of rocks, tumbling along the ground. All breathed heavily, Ruby shaken by the adrenaline rush.
We're okay. All right, we are. No, we're not okay. We almost died.
Sarah glared at Littlefoot.
Now do you believe me?
I'm sorry, but Ruby's right. We're safe now.
Nobody's safe with you in charge. You're liable to lead us to our deaths.
Ruby was about to cut in when she noticed something, feeling her heart flutter within.
Look, it's a rock that's shaped like a long neck.
She's right! We're going the right way! The way to the Great Valley! Though tired and recovering from the chase of a predator, Littlefoot urged them to go on, thinking the Great Valley was over the towering rocks. Ruby did her best to help Petrie and Ducky, while Littlefoot aided Spike. They reached the peak, and Ruby hoped they'd find the Great Valley, though it was nothing but a wasteland, Ruby sighing in defeat.
This is your Great Valley? You're crazy! I'm leaving.
Sarah, we must follow the bright circle.
Well, I'm taking the easy way, and if you were all smart, you'd join me over this flathead.
But it's the wrong way.
Who says?
My mother.
Well, she was a stupid longneck, too. Take that back! Never!
Having enough, Littlefoot shoved Sarah down the rocks, Ruby stepping aside to avoid getting caught up in the tussle.
Guys, stop this!
Ruby climbed down, while Ducky and Petrie sat on Spike, who slid downward. At the bottom, Sarah and Littlefoot fought, shoving and yelling. Ruby, being the voice of reason, tried to block them from hitting one another.
I said enough! Enough of this!
Not wanting to hurt Ruby, the pair stopped and panted.
This is no time to fight. The only way we'll get to the Great Valley is by working and sticking together. Understood? Do what you want, but I'm leaving. If any of you wish to come, feel free to.
Sarah stomped off in the opposite direction. Just like the night before, Ducky, Petrie, and Spike slowly trailed Sarah, Ruby remaining with Littlefoot. Angered by the fight and the fact that they left, Littlefoot climbed up the rocks in a huff. Ruby said nothing and joined him silently, glad he lightened up when he saw she didn't leave. For a while they continued in silence, and Ruby glanced back in hope she'd see the others again. Yet she never did, and believed it'd be the last interaction they ever had.
Littlefoot, what happened to your mother? Sarah said was, as in she's not around?
She's gone, Ruby. Sharptooth. He trailed off. She told me how to reach the valley, so I won't fail her. Ruby gave a nod and asked no more. Her focus was on a large, looming dark mountain. They reached it, the mountains that burned. River of hot lava flowed along the black earth. Hardly any green grew. Tar pits were among the barren land. Skeletons of those unfortunate enough to fall in stood out. Giving a shudder, Ruby tried not to get nervous.
Help, Sarah!
Called the desperate voice of Ducky.
Sarah, where are you? Oh no, they're in trouble.
Hang on, we're coming! Littlefoot hurried to reach Ducky and Spike. Ruby was by his side, pushing over a rock so the pair could cross safely, avoiding melting lava that bubbled up. Then they heard another cry. It was Petrie, who was stuck in a tar pit. One after another, they jumped in to reach him, Ruby at the end, lifting and placing him along with Ducky on Spike's back. All went well till the rock Littlefoot hung on to broke. Thinking fast, Ruby picked Ducky and Petrie up, tossing them to safety as she, along with Littlefoot and Spike, slowly sank. On solid earth, Ducky and Petrie worked fast, finding a long stick and helping the rest out, who were glad to be alive. Another scream. It was Sarah. She was being picked on by some crown heads. Standing on top of one another, the five created a horrific shape, one that scared the crown heads away. Sarah was petrified, and Littlefoot used his tail to lift her, as she screamed out, thinking the monster was about to eat her.
Sarah, do not fear, it's us. I knew it. I knew it was you all along. I did.
Sarah dropped out of Littlefoot's grasp and hit the ground with a thud. She only took a step and slipped in the tar, making the group laugh even harder. Sticking her tongue out, she walked on, smacking into a rock before lifting her tail and leaving for good.
Sarah, we're sorry. Sorry we are.
Sarah, it was a joke. Come back.
Come back!
Littlefoot called as she vanished behind a waterfall. Knowing Sarah was too proud to admit failure, Ruby gestured for them to give her space. All trusted in Littlefoot. The three regretted leaving he and Ruby to follow Sarah. The past was the past, and all was forgiven, for they had more important things to worry about, like reaching the Great Valley safely. Swimming across a section of water, Petrie cried out when a mighty roar sounded off from ahead. Cowering behind a rock, all gazed up to see the powerful Sharptooth who climbed up a set of rocks.
It's Sharptooth!
Let's get rid of him once and for all. How we do that?
The water. We'll lead him into the water. He can't swim with those small arms of his. Those small arms are no good for swimming.
Good idea, Ruby. Littlefoot walked out, surveying the area. Then you, me, and Spike will push that rock onto his head. Then he'll fall off into the water. Petrie, you whistle when he's close to where the water gets dark. Now we need bait. All instantly looked at Ducky, who was taken aback.
Me? Oh, no. No. Oh, no.
Unfortunately, Ducky was outvoted and sent forward to get Sharptooth's attention. Ruby, Littlefoot, and Spike climbed the rock formation and hid to get behind the large boulder, pushing it closer to the edge. All lay in wait, hearing a yell before Sharptooth slid down the slope side, roaring and snapping his powerful jaw. Unsure where Ducky was, Ruby gasped and searched for her tiny form. Doing his job, Petrie whistled and signaled for the rest to push. Push with all your might! Ruby hit her shoulder into the rock, feeling it only creep along. There was a great jolt, for Sharptooth hit the side, causing Petrie to lose his grip and fall.
Petrie, oh no!
Petrie fell and flapped his wings, dropping closer to Sharptooth's open mouth. Unable to nab Petrie, Sharptooth roared in anger, sending Petrie skyward. Then it happened. Petrie was flying, struggling to get the hang of it before he glided around. I flying! Me flying! Go, Petrie! It was a triumphant moment. All paused to celebrate Petrie's success. A roar alerted them, the three returning to pushing the rock. Able to fly, Petrie swooped down to save Ducky, who was standing on Sharptooth's snout. From the water, Sharptooth leapt and landed atop the boulder, the three doing their best to avoid his snapping jaw. Petrie pecked, did all he could to keep Sharptooth looking up at him instead of down at the group. When it seemed all was lost, out of nowhere, Sarah bolted and leapt through the air, hitting the rock. The boulder slipped over and hit Sharptooth, who snapped and grabbed Petrie. Help! Called Petrie before he plunged under the surface. All of them ran to the side, trying to find Petrie among the rough water. Bubbles rose, and the body of Sharptooth sank out of sight. Still, there was no sign of Petrie, all preparing for the worst. With moist eyes, Ruby cupped her hand to her beak in shock. All took the loss hard, especially Ducky, who stood and cried big plunky tears.
He was my friend. Poor Petrie. At least he learned to fly. He fought bravely for us. His sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Come, we should move on. They slowly walked away, only to stop when they heard a voice. Stop! You go without Petrie? Ducky lit up and ran to embrace Petrie, carrying him along. It was a wonderful thing. The group were together again, were victorious. Ruby glanced around and noticed Littlefoot wasn't there.
Where'd Littlefoot go?
Then she heard a call, the voice belonging to Littlefoot. Sarah, Ruby, Ducky, Petrie, Spike, come over here! Hurry! They ran through a tunnel and saw the most beautiful sight. It had to be it. Had to be the place they were so desperate to find.
The Great Valley! It's the Great Valley! The Great Valley it is!
Before them, the sky puffies cleared and revealed the lush land.
Littlefoot, you found it!
We did it! We did it together! They entered the paradise, spreading to find their families. Ducky found her mother and sisters, introducing their new brother, Spike, who enjoyed the nuzzle from his new mother. Petrie flew to a limb and showed off his flying skills, blowing his siblings off their perch. With an excited squeal, Petrie's mother embraced the child she believed was lost. Over the hill, Sarah rushed to her father, who nuzzled her, glad she was okay. And Littlefoot found his grandparents, knowing they'd always be together after that day. It was wonderful to witness the reunion of her friends and their loved ones. However, Ruby didn't see any fast runners, worried her parents didn't make it. Then, to her surprise, "Ruby, is that you?" Trudy came out of a caverned area and into the light.
Mom, it's me! Me I am!
Ruby, with tear-filled eyes, rushed to her parents, hugging them tightly. Trudy held her daughter close, kissing her several times. "We weren't expecting you, Ruby. We were worried we'd never see you again."
"I'm here. Here's where I am, and I'll always be."
"We're so glad you're you." Rodney held his girl close, never wanting to let her go again. At long last, Ruby and her friends arrived at their destination, knowing it was worth the hardships and the struggles, the danger and fear. After Ruby told her family of their trip, Sarah called for her to join the group, who ran to each other. On a hill they embraced, none of their parents caring that they were different, only glad to see their children were unharmed and home at long last.
Don't lose your way with each passing day. You've come so far, don't throw it away. Live believing, dreams are for weaving, wonders are waiting to start. Live your story, faith, hope, and glory. Hold to the truth in your heart. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through to forever, where clouds roll by for you and I. Souls in the wind must learn how to bend. Seek out a star, hold on till the end. Valley, mountain, there is a fountain, washes our tears all away. Waves are swaying, someone is praying, please let us come home to stay. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through to forever, where clouds roll by for you and I. When we are out there in the dark, we'll dream about the sun. In the dark, we'll feel the light warm our hearts, everyone. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through to forever, as high as souls can fly. The clouds roll by for you and I.